If you're a coach, consultant, or agency owner, or pretty much any business owner running a YouTube channel in 2026, I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of new tracking solutions out there that just don't work. And I would know this because we've now worked with tons of business owners, helping them generate calls booked and leads from YouTube. And we've tested every tracking tool under the sun. So we've seen what works, what doesn't work, and is a waste of money. And most importantly, what you should be using right now in 2026 to attribute YouTube views to actual revenue. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what's working right now that we're using within our agency, so you can actually just steal this process to track how you're getting leads from your videos, so you don't waste any time or money trying any of these other platforms. Let's jump in. So tracking YouTube conversions for lead generation is pretty broken. Most people who are posting on YouTube, if they're a business owner, have no idea what content is actually making them money. And this is the biggest blind spot that we see when we audit business channels and look at what they're trying to do. So what they do is they purely look at views, vanity metrics that feel good but don't tell you anything about leads and revenue. Or they look at subscribers, which is growth that doesn't correlate to book calls or close deals. Or they look at watch time, which is engagement data with zero connection to your pipeline. And there are business owners out there who obsess over these metrics, and I see it all the time. And most of the time when I ask them, okay, you've been doing this, you're getting some good metric, but how much money are you actually making from these videos? How many leads are you getting per month? They don't have the answer. So the one question that actually matters is which video booked in that client that you actually did end up getting from YouTube, and almost no one can answer it. And the real cost of flying blind, if you don't have this data, is without attribution, you can't double down on what's working. And this kills most business owners' YouTube efforts before they ever see results. So without attribution, every content decision is a guess, and guesses don't scale, or you waste time and money producing the wrong type of content, hours of production, editing, and your time as a business owner producing videos that never convert. And you can't prove ROI to yourself or your team or to anyone else, because without any data, there's no justification for you to even doing this, or even things like no budget or motivation to continue going. And the biggest issue here is if you do not have data to track, you cannot improve the results. How can you improve something if you don't actually know what's happening? And that's a huge problem. So why the standard tools don't work? So things like YouTube Analytics and Google Analytics and just UTM links, they were never built for high-ticket B2B lead generation in the first place. And YouTube Analytics tells you nothing about revenue. It's just about views, which is good, but it's not everything we need. And then Google Analytics, it breaks across devices and sessions, and UTM links fall apart when buying cycles take weeks, and the original source gets long lost along the way. And we need to be able to know a viewer's journey in terms of becoming a buyer from start to end point, and none of these tools actually show you that. And this is what we found out when we tested some of them. So, and this is really what makes B2B and just business in general, YouTube attribution really hard. There are longer sales cycles, which sometimes mean weeks or months, and there are multiple touch points across multiple videos. So someone might go into one video, click the link, and then go into another video and book a call through that link. But if you don't have this tracked, you'll never know that. So what this means for tracking is standard tools are built for short single session, single device buyer journeys, whereas B2B YouTube is the opposite of that in every way. A prospect might watch 3 of your videos over 2 weeks on 2 different devices before booking a call, and none of these tools really capture that full journey. Another tool that we tested was Hyros, and Hyros is a great tool, don't get me wrong, but it's specifically built for advanced ad tracking and attribution with high volume paid advertisers. Think of agencies who are running hundreds of thousands of dollars on ad spend, who need granular cross-channel attribution. But it's not really the right thing for YouTube lead generation. As well as things like its cost to value ratio, if you're just using it for YouTube, it just doesn't make sense. So the verdict here was, maybe if you're doing a high volume ad spend, Hyros is the thing to go to, but if you're trying to specifically track YouTube conversions, it's just not worth it. And another tool that we tested, not to shit on this tool, but it is a tool by Edward Lawrence, I believe his name is. And from what we've seen from this tool, it doesn't even track actual attributions. It just gives you an estimate of how much money you would make based on the view count. And that's not real attribution, that's literally just guesswork. And we also even tested things like just having a question on the Calendly. That doesn't work that well. I think that's what most people were running for a lot of time. You ask the question, how did you hear about us on the form? And that was literally all you could do, but this isn't great. So the common thing that we saw from these tools is none of them could handle cross-device tracking properly, none of them directly connected views to revenue, and none of them were built for long multi-touch buyer journey for businesses. And this is why, with running my agency, we needed an entirely different solution, one built specifically for YouTube attribution tracking. And that is where the tool that we actually use use right now for every single client comes in, and this tool is called Trakyo. So what Trakyo is a YouTube native revenue attribution platform built specifically for guys like coaches, consultants, agency owners, for anyone who's trying to get leads through YouTube, whether that's high ticket or low ticket. And this is specifically built for service providers where there are potentially longer sales cycles, high ticket offers, or multi-touch buying journeys. And this is exactly where all these other tools fail. So unlike these other tools where we're trying to fit YouTube tracking within their capabilities, Trakyo was specifically built by the designers for actual YouTube tracking. And that's why it's so powerful, because it's specifically built around the question, which video did the lead come from and which video did they buy from? So we've been using this tool for quite a few months now, and from what I've seen, it just blows any of these other tools out the water. So with Trakyo, all you need to do is plug Trakyo into your YouTube account. Through that, we can then create custom tracking links from within the software. So I'll show you how that works actually right now. So once you've connected your YouTube channel within the integrations tab, which is very quick, all you have to do is, as soon as you upload a new video, you just refresh the tab and then the video is going to pop up here. Now, this is just a client's tracking dashboard, so we're going to use him as an example. And what would happen is the new video would pop up here. So it takes 30 seconds to sync, and then it would pop up here. And then you can see here, it says all videos are synced. And then all you can do within this is create let's just do this. Because it's connected to YouTube's API, you can edit the description of the YouTube video within the software. So what we do, every time a video goes up for a client, we go in and we create a new deep link. So what you do here is you set the destination URL. This is exactly where you're trying to send them. So for him, we have these two links that we send people to. So for this one, we'll use this example, which is fun to success. And then it also has a deep link domain, which is what people see on the front end. And this is just something that uses the tracking domain, so you can see it here. So what now happens is if I click create deep link here, it's going to create a new tracking link, and you can see this takes like 5 seconds, and you have the new link right here ready to go. You copy that, you add it in the description where you want to, and now that means that this YouTube video is tracked, and we can see whatever happens. Anyone who clicks on this link and lands on the website and actually fills out a form, books in a call, or even buys directly through the website, we can see that. So that's how the tracking setup works for each video. And then what we can do from there is, as soon as people hit the link and they, click the link and then book a call, there is a dashboard feature here where we can actually see exactly what's going on. So as of today, me recording this April 13th, we can see that there's a video right here that a call has come in from. So this is booked calls from this video. And as well as, let's give another example, another one here, April 8th, we can see a different video, someone booked in a call from that video. And, we booked in a ton of calls for this client simply just from knowing this. And then from that, once they even pay, they go to the call and they pay, using a Stripe link, whatever it is, we can then track that also. And then we can see here that someone paid from this video, which is a different video. And all of this means is that we can then make data-backed decisions when we are coming up with video ideas for our clients. So instead of just guessing, should we create this video or this video or this video, we are simply going, hey, we can see exactly which YouTube videos actually led to the most amount of calls, which led to the conversions. And then from that, we then create YouTube videos along the same lines, whatever, element of the previous video that worked, we're trying to, double down on. And this is just so powerful for anyone who's actually serious in growing their channel on YouTube and actually using it to generate sales. And such another cool feature that they have within the software is this thing called viewer journeys. And this is what I spoke about before, which is being able to track all the different touch points within the funnel. So if I go to this lead, I can see him here under the transactions. If we click view lead, it says here the content attribution. That is the video that it came from. But through this details here, and I'll obviously have to blur some of this stuff just to not give too much information away. But if we go into the journey of the lead, we can see exactly every single time this person has interacted within our funnel. So March 15th, we can see that they clicked on the video. This is when they originally, I think, watched the video and then went ahead and took action. Then webinar opt-in. On that same day, they opted into the webinar that this client hosts. That's the link in the description. Then it looks like they did some other things. Maybe they double opt-in or triple opt-in. Looks like they attended another webinar because this client, he hosts multiple webinars. They booked in for another webinar, and then this was on March 24th, and then on April 1st, they ended up actually paying. So we can see exactly what they did, and I'm gonna show another example because sometimes it gets really unique where they come from one video, then book in from the other video, then they pay through Instagram, and it really just shows that there are so many different touch points that someone can have, and actually understanding the buyer's journey is what's going to help you optimize your funnel and double down what's actually working. Some other cool features that the software has is you can create custom links for pretty much anything. So even if it's not YouTube related, you can create custom links that you can use for your newsletter, your webinars, your Instagram bio, ManyChat automations, podcasts, literally anything that you're trying to track, you can create within this one software. He even tracks his ads through the software. So he doesn't even need high rows. If you're someone who's running ads, you can potentially even do this within the software. And then there's also a feature called hot leads, where if you set this up, you can get pinged as soon as a lead has had multiple touch points within the funnel. So as you can see here, notification history, when they return to your funnel. So if we actually click here, we should be able to see the journey of this lead. So to show you this lead, they originally on April 12th, they came from one of the podcasts, they filled in the form, then they went to the webinar, they clicked on one of the lead magnets, then they went through the Instagram, they went onto the website, then they visited the other website, which is the webinar, and then they went through the Instagram bio link. As you can see, just a whole bunch of touch points within the funnel. And then what happens is his sales team gets pinged to actually call and email this person to try book them in for a discovery call, because obviously that's a clear indicator that they are someone who's very interested, but they haven't actually taken that next step to book in a call. So that's another great feature that software has. I don't think there's anything like this in the market. And there's so many different things you can do here in terms of the integrations. You can integrate Go High Level, ClickFunnels, anything custom, Calendly, Kit, Stripe, anything that you might have, you can connect here. So it's all linked together. And then within the dashboard, you can see things like the total calls booked. You can filter it by amount of time. You can see how many people actually clicked the link, how many people visited the website. Okay, that's non-deep link clicks. That's just people who visited the website. This is people who came through the links and actually clicked. So there's so much data that you can track. For each video, you'll be able to see all of this data, like opt-in rate, booking rate, etc. You know, you can see here's that cash collected from that video that I showed you. So many cool features, right? So we use this across the board with our clients. And as I said, we don't only limit it to YouTube. We kind of track these different avenues of client acquisition and marketing, like newsletters, etc., through this tool also. And I think these are the biggest things that we've been able to use the software for, and why, you know, we double down on this is, you know, we're able to therefore use it to decide what to film next. So we identify winning topics and angles through which videos are converting the best. We're able to spot patterns between video types and conversions, so we can see, you know, what made this video convert or what made this video convert. And then because they both, you know, are getting great results, we can kind of identify those winning elements once again, and then find videos that are worth remaking or repurposing, because you obviously want to always create new up-to-date videos of what, you know, worked in the past. And it just fundamentally changes the mindset shift about YouTube from what gets views to what gets clients. And that is super important. By the way, if you want access to this software and you want me to connect you to the guys over at Trakyo, DM me on Instagram. There'll be a link in the description of this video to just shoot me a DM. Just shoot me a message with the word Trakyo and I'll connect you through to them. So that's exactly how you can finally track which YouTube videos are actually generating revenue for your business. But there's something I didn't tell you at the start of this video, and that's that everything I just showed you in terms of tracking is completely useless if you don't have the right type of content going up on your channel in the first place. Tracking a channel full of the wrong videos just tells you how fast that nothing is working. So if you want to learn exactly the types of videos that you should be creating, that we create to help business owners book in more calls and obviously make money from YouTube, then just click on this video here to go check that out. Or if you want us to build an entire done for you YouTube funnel system for your business, just click the link in the description and I'll see you in the next video.